Kill the lights, close your eyes. I need you to simulate absolute zero visibility. Put your hand in front of your face. You can't see it, but you can smell it. Unwashed skin, livestock manure, the metallic tang of fierce sweat. Now imagine the air getting thin. You are breathing the same oxygen as 20,000 other people, and the supply is running out. The temperature is a constant, bone-chilling 55 degrees. You are not in a prison. You are not in a grave. You are in a city. But this city doesn't scrape the sky. It burrows into the bowels of the earth. You are 85 meters down, encased in volcanic rock, and the only thing separating you from a violent death is a rolling stone door and total silence. This is the sensory deprivation of survival. This is Derinkuyu. The clock starts in 1963. A man in the Nevşehir province of Turkey takes a sledgehammer to a wall in his basement. He's looking for extra storage. He finds the abyss. Behind the plaster and the chickens is a tunnel plunging into darkness. He doesn't know it yet, but he has just cracked the seal on an engineering impossibility. He has found a metropolis carved from soft volcanic tuff, a geological sponge that hardens when it hits the air. This isn't a cave, it's a machine. A survival machine designed for a specific purpose, to make 20,000 people vanish from the face of the earth in under an hour. Let's look at the schematics. You need to stop thinking of this as a bunker and start thinking of it as a submarine. A static submarine submerged not in water, but in solid rock. The physics of survival are identical. In a submarine, your greatest enemy isn't the enemy destroyer. It's the environment, the carbon dioxide building up in your lungs. The engineers of Derinkuyu understood fluid dynamics before the term existed. They built a massive ventilation shaft, a vertical lung piercing 55 meters straight down to the water table. This is the snorkel. It brings fresh air to the deepest levels first, forcing the stale, hot air up and out. Without this, the city is just a mass grave waiting to happen. But a submarine needs bulkheads. It needs compartmentalization. You don't build a hole this deep without expecting a breach. The city is divided into 18 distinct levels. The upper decks are the stables because you don't drag 1,000 pounds of panicked cattle down narrow spiral staircases. You keep the smell and the ammonia near the surface, acting as a biological insulation layer. Below that are the living quarters, the kitchens and the wine presses. Yes, wine presses, because when you are locked in a stone coffin for months, sobriety is a liability. You need the calories and you need the sedation. The engineering gets tighter the deeper you go. The corridors are intentionally narrow, tactical claustrophobia forcing you to walk single file. If the hull is breached and the enemy gets in, they can't swarm. They are funneled into a kill zone where one defender with a spear can hold off 100 invaders. This is the choke point strategy. The walls are rough and sound dampening, carved with pickaxes by generations of terrified hands. Every inch of this place was removed by muscle power. Think about the tonnage. We are talking about millions of cubic feet of rock excavated in secret, hauled to the surface, and scattered so no one would see the mound. Let's talk about the pressure. In a submarine, the pressure comes from the ocean trying to crush the hull. In Derinkuyu, the pressure is psychological. The crushing weight of knowing the world above has ended for you. You are living in a suspended state of animation. The schoolrooms on the second level prove they planned for the long haul. They weren't just hiding. They were continuing civilization in a pressurized tube. They had chapels. They had communal kitchens to centralize the smoke, venting it through hidden ducts so the enemy wouldn't see plumes rising from the ground. That is stealth technology. That is thermal masking. Now we need to break the rhythm. Stop, listen. I mean really listen. The most dangerous thing in Derinkuyu isn't the air quality or the sanitation. It is sound. Rock is a conductor. If you drop a metal pot on level 3, the vibration travels. But here is the true horror, the acoustical paranoia. The ceilings in the upper levels are thin. You are sitting in the dark, clutching your children, and you can hear them. The boots, the horses, the enemy army is walking directly over your head. You hear the thud of their march and their voices muffled through the soil. They are 10 feet above you, scanning the horizon for a city that isn't there, standing on top of 20,000 ghosts holding their breath. If a baby cries, you die. If a dog barks, you die. The entire city operates on a discipline of absolute silence. It is a game of hide and seek played for the highest stakes imaginable. We're back on the clock. The enemy has found the entrance and is coming down the throat of the city. This is where the static submarine deploys its active countermeasures. You can't lock a door that doesn't have hinges. The engineers carve massive millstones, circular discs of hard rock weighing over 1,000 pounds. They sit in recesses beside the doorways. When the alarm sounds, a lever is tripped and gravity rolls the stone across the corridor, sealing the bulkhead. Here is the genius. The hole in the center of the millstone isn't for an axle. It's a firing port. You seal the door and stab through the eye of the stone, killing the first man trying to push it open. The bodies pile up on the other side, creating a gruesome secondary barricade. The waste management system is the unsung hero of this nightmare. Thousands of people are eating, drinking, and excreting. In a closed loop, disease kills faster than swords. They dug drainage channels, gravity-fed sewage lines running deeper than the living quarters, dumping waste into the porous rock far below the water table. They separated the black water from the clean water. The wells were accessible only from the lower levels, ensuring that if the enemy poisoned the surface water, the deep reserves remained pure. This is redundant life support. But the most terrifying aspect isn't the engineering. It's the psychology of the exit. Imagine the day the boots stop thumping above. The silence stretches for hours, then days. You have to make a choice. Do you open the millstone? Do you breach the hull? If you are wrong, you let the wolf in. If you are right, you emerge into a world that has likely been burned to ash. The people of Derinkuyu lived in a state of Schrodinger's existence, both dead and alive until the stone rolled back. They built this city to hide. They built it to endure. But eventually they left. The tunnels were abandoned, the artifacts left to rot. The city became a myth, then a rumor, then a basement renovation project. We look at the pyramids and marvel at the height. We should look at Derinkuyu and tremble at the depth. It is a monument to the lengths humanity will go to survive when the sky turns hostile. When the world burns, we don't look up for a savior. We look down. We dig. We become the stone. So here's the question that should keep you awake tonight, staring at your own ceiling. If the sirens went off right now and you had to disappear into the earth with 20,000 strangers, relying on ancient ventilation and total silence to survive, how long would you last before you were the one who made the sound that killed everyone?